Well, the White House preparing to make the Ninth Circuit arguably the most liberal court in the nation. Well, it is. The Trump administration planning to appoint Daniel Bress, Daniel Collins, and Kenneth Lee to that bench. Our next guest has been calling for these moves. Here to explain, Judicial Crisis Network Policy Director and former Clarence Thomas law clerk, Carrie Severino. Carrie, so the Ninth Circuit, we've followed it much over the Trump administration, from DACA guidelines to sanctuary sit-ins to asylum to the travel ban. They've been the ones stopping prerogatives of this administration. Who are these judges, and how would they change the balance of the court in the Ninth Circuit?
Yeah, the Ninth Circuit is really ground zero for people trying to attack this president because it's known for being so liberal. It's one of the most overturned courts by the Supreme Court. They're just way on the far left fringe. These judges would do a great service toward bringing that back toward parity, be almost even with Republican Democratic appointees in the court. But more important than the letter after the name of the president who appointed them, these are judges who are strong originalists. They are faithful to the Constitution. A couple of them are Scalia clerks themselves. You know, these are people who are going to be so qualified and really be able to lend some intellectual heft to pushing back on some of the extremist activism we've seen on that court.
So some are calling for watering down the nominees to make them more acceptable. You're saying these nominees are real conservatives, and while the balance of the court won't be even, it'll get closer.
Oh, yeah. Most cases are heard by a three-judge panel chosen randomly from the judges. So a lot of those panels are going to have a significant number of great judges. Senators Feinstein and Harris would love for the White House counsel's office to try to water down this president's nominees. But, you know, his judicial nominations are the crown jewel of this president's accomplishments.
Yes.
They have been outstanding. Makes no sense to try to basically negotiate with people who have done everything they could in very underhanded ways to try to block his nominees, including with bigotry, with slurs. I mean, these are not people who are arguing in good faith.
Carrie, that is so right. You know, if they want to appoint judges, they should go and win an election. Until then, the prerogative is President Trump's. Good to hear he's appointing real conservatives. Carrie, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Great to see you.
We'll see what happens in that Ninth Circuit. When you're overturned that much, you're probably getting something wrong.
And when President Trump reopened the government, he also called for a bipartisan committee to attempt to hash out some border compromise. John was talking about it before February 16th. So why haven't we heard about any progress? Here now, a member of that committee, Republican Representative Tom Graves of Georgia. All right, Congressman, any progress whatsoever? And if not, don't be partisan about this. What can we do now to make some progress before the 16th? All right, not being partisan at all. There's been zero progress. We have had one meeting since this conference committee was created, and it was created by Nancy Pelosi. You remember she said, open the government and we'll negotiate. She created this committee. She controls this committee. Her chairman chairs this committee. She has more votes than anyone on this committee. We've had one meeting. I've requested more. I stayed all last week, went through the weekend, and yet no more meetings. Well, Henry Cuellar said this on Fox News Sunday about the wall.
First of all, we're not going to have a wall. Now, can we look at some sort of enhanced barrier? That's something we can certainly look at. But I have to say, living on the border, you have to let the local Border Patrol chief have the say-so and let the local communities be involved so they can come up with maybe some sort of enhanced barrier.
Okay, what does this look like? I'm a bit confused. Enhanced barrier, not a wall, see through it. See, I always think a wall you can't see through, but we're going to have a see-through, so it's kind of already an enhanced barrier. Yeah. It seems like there's a semantic problem in part, correct?
Well, it's a little bit of play on words. Enhanced barrier for the Democrats is taking an old wall and improving it. So it's no new wall. Now, the president wants new walls, which I agree with. So enhanced barriers, one piece. That's only it.
Well, when you see the video just released last week and the week before of hundreds of people at one time crawling across an area that, I mean, my 10-year-old could crawl over this thing. This is not a difficult barrier. In some places, you just walk right across the desert, very dangerous parts.
Right. And that may
you
be
aren't
one
a country when that
enhance.
is how you get into your country, at a place where a lot of people want to come in. That's not what a country does. I mean, if you want to stay a country, at least.
Right. So, a lot of areas for improvement. But when you look at the plan that was presented by Homeland Security, I mean, they clearly say there needs to be new additional barriers, steel barriers, walls, in addition to enhancements, in addition to technology, Border Patrol, additional judges and such. There's a lot to do, but a wall is a critical component of it, and I'm not sure why they're walking away from it.
Well, what they'll say is, we're going to do drones and sensors, and a lot of the big interdictions are happening at ports of entry, drug interdictions. So they're hanging a lot of it on the ports of entry where they are making some progress and lower number of apprehensions. So anytime you bring it up, you're like, well, apprehensions are down. We don't have a border crisis. You know, this is what they continue to repeat. All right, well, stay there, and thank you so much, Congressman, for joining us.
Will hitting the stump re-elect Trump? Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz is pissing off Dems for having the nerve to say he's running for president as an independent, because that could split the Democratic votes and end up re-electing Donald. Also, he doesn't know anything about Cheerios.
How much does an 18-ounce box of Cheerios cost?
An 18-ounce box of Cheerios?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. See, now here's the deal. I don't eat Cheerios.
Here's the deal. Yeah. You ask us. Yeah. Yeah. You know, like budgets for the VA. We're going to ask you questions.
Ask me anything you want. I don't need Cheerios. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's $4.
Is it $4?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I wonder what they eat for breakfast. Spotted owls. All right, move that thing up there a bit. Meanwhile, will Medicare for All be the Dems build the wall? Democrats have been throwing around some big ideas lately. Medicare for All, kicking private insurance to the curb, taxing the super rich. But another Democrat who's also a billionaire isn't impressed, right, Mike Bloomberg?
To replace the entire private system where companies provide health care for their employees would bankrupt us for a very long time.
Jeez Louise. He's got the charisma of a baby platypus. What a buzzkill. Why can't you have big, over-promising dreams like the Democrats? I think we should have what they're having.
The bottom line and the most important is that everyone have access to health care. That is the goal. That is the purpose for me supporting the policy of Medicare for All, that everyone has access to health care, period.
Free this, free that. Democrats are promising people the world. What drugs are they on?
Actually, they're on Demitrex.
You again. All right, what's Demitrex?
Demitrex blocks the signals in your brain that are responsible for reason, logic, math, and history, so you adopt a completely unrealistic worldview. The result? It makes you overpromise things you can't possibly deliver on.
I don't know.
If you take it, people will like you and think you're cool.
I'm in.
Honey, will you please take out the trash?
Oh, I'll take out the trash. I'll do better than that. I'll take out the whole neighborhood's trash. And I'll do it in 5 minutes or less. And then I'm going to turn our trash into gold and silver. And then we'll move into a mansion made of chocolate with a pool filled with the American dream. The American dream!
What a psycho.
Hey, Tom, think you could have that report done by next Friday?
Next Friday? How about right now? I've got it right here.
That's a banana.
No. It's my report. Look. It's my report! It's my report!
Dad, you told me we were going to play catch.
I did?
Yeah, after you told me you were going to help me with my science project.
Did I?
Yes, after you told me you were going to teach me how to drive.
I did. That's right, I haven't done any of those things. And yet I feel great. Thanks, Demitrex.
So get Demitrex today. Warning, delusional side effects include letting everyone down, political affiliation, and type performance.
You know what? We should hire child actors to actually play children and not a guy with a full-on beard. I think, Tyrus...
Couldn't you just pull one from your orphanage, Greg?
That's child labor, Tyrus. What do you make of the field? Can centrism make a comeback, Tyrus?
Obviously not. They're having a heart attack because he's talked about running as an independent.
Yeah.
Wow, we can't have people vote for who they want to in this country, and I thought everyone could run. I think the idea of having 3 candidates is a good thing, or maybe 4.
Yeah.
Americans should have a choice. You can't tell someone you can't run because my other guy won't get enough votes if you run.
Yes.
That's like literally, hey, Tyrus, you can't lift weights with us. You're going to lift more weights than me. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Kat, could it be that politics really don't matter? We've learned from Trump that it's about persuasion and saying memorable stuff.
Well, nothing matters, Greg. No, I just think it's amazing how far left the Democrats have moved, right? They have moved so far left that they make President Obama look like Ron Paul. Yeah. Right? I mean, remember President Obama was saying he had to say, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. That ended up not being true, but at least he felt like he had to lie. Yes. Now we have Kamala Harris saying, if you like your plan, go yourself. That's basically what she's saying when she says Medicare for all. That's really, it's just a nicer way of saying that. No, you're right. And it is, and it's not popular either. So this is a real gift to Republicans. Yeah. Survey last year said that 71% of people with employer-sponsored coverage liked their plans, and a survey from last week said that when they were informed that Medicare for All would eliminate private insurance companies, only 37% of people supported it. That's right, I got statistics. Are you watching, Brett? I can do special report.
Yeah. That was her audition for
special report.
That was
I think I would kill it.
Report. Christina,
Thanks,
do you have any
really bailed me
statistics?
out.
No, because usually it's a rule of thumb in business. We always say only 3 numbers and never give more than that. So you did great.
I did 2 numbers. See, Brett, are you watching,
no,
Brett?
But Tyrus brought up a good point that why should we be in a country where there's literally, it's either, 2 sides, black and white, red versus blue.
2 ideas.
Yeah, exactly. With Schultz, though, I think it's concerning. He doesn't know how much a box of Cheerios is. Nobody actually established that, and I think it's concerning.
It ain't nothing in the store. It's $4.
Yeah, because I literally bought the honey nut roast just very recently. But I think the issue is he's had no backers, and here's another billionaire that's coming to the table. However, you just brought up the fact that the party's going a little bit too left. Maybe it's a compliment, because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is an excellent example. She's taking a page from Trump's book and trying to go after the rich so that they can potentially benefit all of America. I'm not saying I'm a supporter, but look, it's a positive. They're literally doing what Trump has done.
My problem is with Cheerios. Does anybody hate Cheerio breath? Yeah.
I quite enjoy it.
You don't do it. I only date men with Cheerio breath, says Kat. Oh.
I think Howard Schultz should have asked Joe Scarborough how much music lessons cost, because he clearly doesn't know. Yeah. I've heard his album. No one talks about the perks of a Howard Schultz presidency, like we'd all be allowed to use the White House bathroom now, which would be nice. And I'm not even defending him, but I hate that they have made the term billionaire a slander. Because to be honest with you, Howard Schultz, whether you like him or not, is the epitome of the American dream. He grew up in housing projects and turned into the guy who created Starbucks. That is inspirational. It is aspirational. It's a nice story. That being said, I'm a Dunkin' Donuts man, not a Starbucks fan. You want to know why, too? Because it has better table conversation. Yeah. When you get a coffee at Starbucks and you just eavesdrop on the people next to you, they're like talking about some spec house they're developing out in L.A. They're having an argument with their lawyer about what they should put down on the phone. You go to Dunkin' Donuts, the guy next to you is arguing with himself. Yeah. Because the spaceship's out of gas again.
Yeah. And the scary part is, he's the security guy.
Yeah, he's the manager.
We didn't get a chance to talk about Cory Booker throwing his hat in the ring. But I figured out why he talks the way he does. Yeah. He talks like he just ate a hot slice of pizza.
I am Cory Booker, and I am running for president, and my mouth is on fire.
Can I say?
My mouth is on fire.
He's true. And Cory Booker is so dumb.
How dumb is he?
He couldn't spell moron if you spotted him the AOC.
Oh.